Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I will go over this revised version of the gate control system. So this is the part 3 of the UML State Machines. If you guys want to see the other parts, the part 1 and part 2, you can check out the I button or the link in the description below. Okay, so let's get started. So here we have a gate control system, and in the part 1 I explained you guys over here how the gate control system works, but this didn't include the state behaviors, you guys see. So here I just explained you guys in the part 2 how the state behaviors work. So here we have state behaviors over here. So let's go ahead and try to figure out how it works. Okay, so first of all, you guys see that it's gonna enter the state. Okay, so and as soon as it enters the state, it's gonna check the guard. If the guard is true, if the vehicle is approaching, it's gonna lift the gate, which is performing the action, and then it's gonna transition to the state, which is the open state, and which is going to enter this entry point. Okay, and which is gonna perform the action, the make sound. Okay, so as soon as it's entering the state open, what is it doing? It's making a sound. Okay, and then it's gonna flash lights. Okay, and then after flashing lights, it's gonna check if the vehicle leaves. Okay, so it's gonna perform the if the guard is true, and then it's gonna exit the do state, aboard the do state, and then make a sound again upon exiting, and then when it's exiting, it's gonna perform this action, which means lower the gate and then go to close and disable. Okay, so if you guys don't understand, let me just go over it really quickly. Okay, entry, vehicle approaches, if the guard is true, perform the action, lift gate, go into the open, make a sound, go into the do, flash lights, check the guard. If the guard is true, if the vehicle left, so you're gonna make a sound again, lower the gate, and then go to the closed, and that's their final state. Okay, so here we have an example of a composite state. So you see, this is the state within a state, so that is called a composite state. If you have a state, so this is the state, ideal state, right? But inside the ideal state you have another state configuring, so that is the situation of the composite state. Okay, so how it's gonna work, you're gonna go into the ideal state, configure, and then perform the action beep. Okay, and then gonna go into the configuring state, and it has you see, configuring state, it has its own initial state and final state. So it's gonna go ahead and go into the initial state, then initializing, reading, and the final state. Okay, and upon reaching the final state, it's gonna go ahead and perform the action double beep, and it finishes. Okay, so in here something important to note is that if you're in initializing, you can receive a cancel. So you're not supposed to finish. If you just receive a cancel upon initializing, then you're gonna exit the state. Okay, and you can also receive a cancel while you're in reading. If you receive a cancel, you're gonna go back to the ideal state. Okay, so just remember, you can receive a cancel upon initializing and upon reading as well, and you guys know where it's gonna go. Okay, it's only upon reaching the final state that it goes into the double beep. Okay, and yeah, something important to note here is that you see here configuring, this is a composite state, so it can also be represented as like an icon of the composite. So here, which means that it is still implemented, but like we're not showing the actual state over here. Okay, the actions of it, so we're simply writing it this way, but we're showing that it's a composite state, so that's why we're putting these icons of composite state. Okay, so it can be represented this way or this way.